Hello, Extreme Team. This is Coach Blair Popham, and I am cutting this video for all of you in regards to finding the perfect location for your nutrition club. So first off, congratulations to all of you to making it to this step in the process. It's such an exciting time, and this step is so fun because you get to start finding the perfect location for your nutrition club. So at the end of watching this video, our goal is to have basically 1 to 2 locations narrowed down as far as this is going to be the spot for my nutrition club. So we are going to do that through a 5-step process that I'll walk you through. First, it might be helpful if you print off the location sheet right off of the Extreme Team website. Also, if you have a piece of paper and a pen ready so you can take extra notes on the location sheet or just on a separate piece of paper. So first thing is we're going to choose the location of your nutrition club. So there's 2 types of people that are probably listening to this video right now. One of them is, I know exactly the city I want my nutrition club to be located in. I've been dreaming of this, all of these sorts of things. That's great. You can move on to step 2. The second type of person is, I'm absolutely 100% positive I want a nutrition club. I'm not so positive what city or where I want it to be located. So step 1 is really for you. So a few things is you can start asking yourself questions as far as what might be super beneficial for you to own a small business in. So what types of towns are you looking for? What's the population size? Is there a high school there? Is there a college there? Where did you grow up? Just different types of questions like this to really start getting an idea of this is where I want to be for the next 3 to 5 years, as most nutrition clubs are around actually for forever, but really starting to consider some of those types of things. So once you have your location narrowed down of this is the city I want to be in, we're going to move on to step 2. So step 2 is getting a list of 5 to 10 different locations that you're ready to call on or that you want to learn a little bit more about. So in order to create this list, we recommend 3 different things. The first thing is just driving around. So this is probably the simplest and the most effective of going in the city that you want to be in, drive around, look for vacant buildings, look for signs in the window that say for lease or have a commercial real estate sign, anything like that are great options to write down. The second one is looking online. Our good old friend Google can really produce some serious results. So typing in looking for a retail space in XYZ location will probably give you a different list of different retail locations that then you could even potentially go drive to. Another option is LoopNet. We've had a lot of success on Craigslist as well, but just different sites to really start looking around. And this is the city I want to be in. These are maybe some of the expectations as far as square footage and cost, and start getting a list compiled online if you choose to. And then the third thing that you can utilize is social media. So the Extreme Team has had a lot of success in regards to social media in general. So it's no surprise that we could utilize social media also to find a location for our nutrition clubs. So simply making a post that's looking to open a nutrition club in XYZ town. Does anybody know of some retail space? And what will happen is your friends, acquaintances, family will send you lists of contact peoples of realtors, or perhaps they'll even send you a space, or they'll send you a location. Like I was driving down the street right next to Domino's Pizza or whatever, and there's a great location located right there. You should go check it out. So they'll start giving you ideas to kind of start spawning you too. So once you have a list of 5 to 10 spaces, we are going to eventually call on the landlord. But before we do that, I want to just go over some of our Extreme Team philosophies again, just to reiterate that these are really the things that we have developed as nutrition club success principles in opening your own nutrition club. So the first thing is the square footage out of that nutrition club. What the Extreme Team recommends is having it be less than 1,500 square feet. So if it becomes much more than 1,500 square feet, it just becomes large, and then you don't necessarily utilize the space. Plus, you're paying for it. So it's not normally beneficial. The second thing is the total cost of the fixed expenses. So fixed expenses are everything that it takes to run a building on a monthly basis. So it's going to be your base rent cost. It's going to be the cost of any maintenance fees associated with renting the building, your utility costs, internet, If you're in an area that has snow, like Minnesota or Colorado, your snow removal services, internet services, insurance, a big list of all of those fixed expenses. What our target kind of sweet spot number is to be less than $1,500 for all of those expenses. The third thing is the length of the lease. So we highly recommend 3-year or less lease with a 1-year opt-out. What a 1-year opt-out means is that at the end of renting your space for a year, you have the option to discontinue your lease at that time if it's not working well for you. So we highly recommend the length of the lease to be 3 years or less, and we prefer a 1-year opt-out. The fourth point is the profitable at point. So what this means is it's the number of shakes that it's going to take you per day to get in the green. And what I mean by get in the green is start to make money. So a profitable at point of 25 shakes or less is what we highly recommend for extreme team success principles. The other thing that we do need to realize, and we'll teach you how to do a profitable at point, is that the lower the profitable at point, the quicker you are to start making money, and typically the quicker you are to start attracting coaches because it's not stressful. So profitable at point, 25 shakes or less, very, very important. And the last extreme team success principle that we have listed is to be in constant communication and working side by side with not only your mentor who signed you up in the business or has been coaching you through this process, but also your upline millionaire team member or president's team member. In the extreme team, we have lots of millionaire team members and lots of president's team members. And the one thing that's in common with all of them is they've all duplicated really successful nutrition clubs. So we want to utilize these people with their years of experience and their experience in duplicating successful nutrition clubs. So you make sure that yours is a successful duplication as well. So a little review of the extreme team philosophies, but now we're ready to move on to step 4. With our list of 5 to 10 spaces, we're going to call the landlords on that. So at the end of step 2, you have a list of this is the building or this is the address and this is the phone number of whoever's listed as the contact agent on that. So we're going to call those people in this step. So simply, it's a really, really easy process. Sometimes people get a little bit nervous about it. It's okay. We're just inquiring on information. And we're inquiring on information to make sure that it fits into our Extreme Team Nutrition Club successful philosophy so that we know that we're not wasting our time going visiting spaces that are extremely high in rent or have too much square footage or not enough square footage, whatever it ends up being. So you're simply going to pick up the phone and you're just going to say, hi, my name is Blair. I'm interested in potentially renting one of your spaces, but I did have a few questions before I wanted to set up a tour. And they're going to say, oh, great, Blair, what location, da, 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 da. And then you're going to share it with them. And then my first question is going to be, what's the total number of square feet for this particular space? They'll give you a number, just jot it down. The second question I'm going to ask is, what is the total price per month that this space costs me to rent? So they may give you a price per square feet. My biggest suggestion would be, can you just tell me the total price per month that it would cost to rent the space? And just kind of reiterating that so that they give you a specific dollar amount as far as the fixed monthly expense for rent. The third thing that you're going to ask them is, what type of lease would you entertain? Okay. And in regards to the price and the type of lease they're going to entertain, it's not necessarily that you're going to be locked in at that number, but we want to get a starting point as to where the other side of the table is coming from. So we do want to know what type of lease they would entertain. They might say 5-year. That's okay. We can potentially talk them down to a 3-year with a 1-year opt-out. They might say the price is a little bit higher total cost than $1,500. That's okay. As long as it's close, we can still go tour it. And then when Nate goes through his negotiation video, he'll teach you how to talk them down for that. Then the last thing is if they meet the criteria of the Extreme Team Success Principles, we're ready to set up a tour. So I typically give them 2 times. I'm like, I have Monday afternoon or Wednesday morning available. Which one works best for you? So similar as to how we book a 3-day trial. It's just with a commercial space. So lastly, you're ready to visit the locations. This is one of the most exciting, most fun parts is you get to actually be in the location, vision what the nutrition club would be like. Imagine yourself walking into the location and walking in for the next 3 years, serving the community, creating this healthy and happy environment. So get into that mindset when you're going to tour the locations. The other thing is that is very important when you're touring the locations is you're going to print off this location comparison spreadsheet and you're going to bring it with you. The reason the spreadsheet is so important is because it's going to prompt you to ask some questions that your Upline Millionaire team or President's team member is going to want to know when they're helping you decide which space is going to be best for you. So you'll see things like the date available for lease. You'll know to ask the person when you're touring, by what date is this space going to be available for somebody new to be able to rent it? And then you're just going to write down that answer. There is a lot of repeat of the questions that we asked when we called the landlord. My greatest suggestion would be to ask them again so we can cross-check them. So sometimes they'll say, oh, the cost per square foot is $11, and then you get in the space and they tell you 13 or something like that. We just want to make sure that the two numbers are lined up. It'll also help us with negotiation. Okay, so you're going to bring this sheet with, and you're going to fill out all of the different lines of the sheet for each different location that you go and tour. A few other helpful hints are bring a camera and take photos. We think that we're going to remember, but we don't necessarily. So the more photos you can take, the better off it's going to be. You can also share them with your Millionaire team or President's team member. The other thing is that we really want to pay attention to, is there existing plumbing? Where is it located? Is the electrical updated? Is there a handicap accessible bathroom? Is there a mop sink? Different things like this. The more things that you can note on the spreadsheet or just even on a separate piece of paper in regards to the location, the more helpful it's going to be. These are some of the things that we found cost a little bit more money in the build out of nutrition clubs. So it's very helpful if they're already there and they're already present, because then it's just a big check mark and we don't necessarily have to put out additional costs in order to get the space ready to go. So once you're done with this, you're going to have a list of basically 5 different locations that has all of this information, hard data, and then you're going to narrow it down to 1 to 2 locations. Bring the sheet and schedule a time with your Upline Millionaire team or President's team members so that they can go over some of the specifics with you and help you really get the best space for you and your nutrition club. Again, congratulations on getting to this part of the process, and I hope you guys have so much fun in the video and the documents with lease negotiation with Mr. Nate Fears.